You still work at the hospital?
Let me do the greeting first. All
Okay,
right.
go ahead.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, y'all. This is News and Views with Bella. I'm your host, Bella, and my special guest today is Reggie the Truck Brown.
Woo! Great day to be alive. Make it happen. Make it happen.
All right, Mr. Brown, you wanna I know you as Mr. Brown. You got about three different aliases.
You know what? I'll be whatever you ask me to be tonight. I got you. Okay? You just tell me where you need me to go and I get there.
Oh,
Okay?
gee. Want to tell us a
I
little about
guarantee it.
yourself?
Huh?
Tell us a little about yourself.
You know, that's something that I don't like to do, but I tell you this. Um, I grew up in Newark, New Jersey. Played ball in high school, went to Shabazz High School. Malcolm X Shabazz, to be honest.
Yeah.
Graduated in 78. Hurt my back in high school. Told me I couldn't play no more sports for the rest of my life. I got a chance to play college ball in Pasadena, California at a junior college. Went out there and had a great time. My second year, I made junior college All-American. I transferred to University of Oregon. I stayed there for 2 years. And after that, I got drafted by Atlanta Falcons in 1982. Stayed there 2 years. I went to the USFL. 1984, I was with the LA Express. And matter of fact, they cut me on my 24th birthday. The 24th birthday, they cut me, man. And I was devastated. I'm gonna tell you right now, I was devastated. But you know, they told me that he who laughs last laughs the best. I'm still laughing. So the next year, in 1985, I got a call from another team in the USFL in 1985 with the Arizona Outlaws, and Doug Williams was the quarterback. And I went out there and I was making $33,000 a year, and there's a guy who's starting. He's making $300,000 a year, and by the second game, the owner said, "Put that guy on. Let's see what he can do." Because the other guy was getting it the way it needed to, so they put me in. And like I said, I'm from Newark. All I know how to do is run. So when
Yeah.
they put me in, ran. And I ran so much. I ran for 1,000 yards in 1985, and I stayed there. At the end of the year, the league folded. The USFL, NFL went to court. The USFL won, and the league folded. I didn't get a new contract. I go to Tampa Bay, tear my foot up. They released me when I was injured. I sued them. I went to the Philadelphia Eagles my last year in 1987, and I tell you, had a great time. I retired from the Eagles. Matter of fact, I'll tell you real quick. I was an Oregon Duck. I got drafted by Atlanta Falcons. I retired from the Philadelphia Eagles. That's pretty foul, right?
Yeah.
Let me honest. All birds, but that by itself, after I retired, I taught school. Matter of fact, I taught at Shabazz, Weekway, in my own hometown and in the high school I went to, and also my arch rival. That's how I met Miss Lacey, and I call y'all the triplets. Uh, I thought y'all were triplets. I really did. I didn't know. I never asked, but anyway, I taught school, drove tractor trailers, and I tell you what. From that, things just started going here and there, and I went through some things with the drugs. And I tell somebody, they said, "Well, you did drugs, man? Man, I did more drugs than anybody come on this phone." Okay? And I'm not proud of it. I'm not ashamed of it, not no more, because I've helped more people
Yes.
now since then than I did when I was using myself.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm not proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it. And it taught me how to be a better man. I promise you that. And matter of fact, I gave up everything. I didn't lose it. You hear what I said? I gave up everything. I was married, had 2 kids, but drugs are more important. So I said, look, I'm gonna do this, and I'll see y'all another time. And I be honest with you, that's how it pretty much happened. I can give you some stories about this and that, but um, actually, that's what happened. And from there, when I lost that, I became homeless in Newark, New Jersey, my own hometown. I was homeless. And I went through some things, but one day I fell on my knees and I said, Lord, you gotta help me. Um, and God sent me help, man. And I went through it for several years after that, but I finally got what I needed, and now I go around the country talking about drugs and alcohol, and going to prisons and talk to prisoners. And I'm gonna tell you, what a turnaround! Ha! Woo! And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't regret not one thing I've done. Somebody asked me, man, if you had a chance to change anything in your life, what would you change? Not one iota. Because if you change one thing, the whole complexion of your life and somebody else's life change. And my favorite movie is called It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna tell you that movie. See, if he wasn't there, things didn't turn out the way they looked when he was there. So that's how I look at my life, and I'm grateful that I've been through what I've been through, because, like I said, it made me stronger. It helped some other people, and it helped me. And I like who I am today.
Yes.
I really do. I like who I am. I spent a lot of time by myself when I was in Raleigh, North Carolina. I spent a lot of time by myself, but I will say this: it gave me a chance to get to know me.
Yes.
And when I got to know me, I met this woman named Winnie. You know Winnie the Pooh, right? I call her Winnie. She's Winnie my Pooh. And I tell you what, man, I met her 40 years ago, and I married her 40 years later. And I'm gonna tell you, probably the best thing I ever did.
So you knew her prior to.
I met her when I was playing with the Falcons in 1982. Yeah,
Oh,
40 years ago. Yep. But back in those days, I wasn't thinking about none of all that. I was playing football, man. I'm like I was a young guy playing football, so I met her. We had a great time, but it wasn't like a boyfriend and girlfriend. We just spent time together. And one summer, and when I left the Falcons and I went to L.A., I came back and she was engaged, because I didn't tell her wait for me. I didn't say, baby, I'll be back or nothing like that, because she wasn't my girlfriend. We were just friends, but we had a grand time, and I remember that. And so I kept in touch with her over the years, and
okay.
So she finally called me one day, and I wasn't married then. I was divorced, and she had been divorced. We got divorced the same year, a month apart, and both got 2 kids. And matter of fact, all 4 kids was in the wedding.
Oh
All
wow.
4 kids in the wedding. My son was my best man. Her son gave her away. My daughter was one of her bridesmaids, and her daughter was the maid of honor. So one of them. I don't know which one it was, but she was one of the maids. And but I tell you, we had the best time right now. And I'm glad things worked out the way they did. And I'm grateful. So you asked me to tell you a little bit about myself, man. I tell you the whole story, right?
I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said you hurt your back after in high school. So
Mhm.
what made you push forward, and were you scared to go back out there and
Well, I'll tell you what. When I hurt my back, they said I couldn't play no more sports for the rest of my life. That means baseball, football, hockey, soccer, track, you name it, I couldn't do it. But that's what they said. But God told me something different.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand and know, about a relationship with God. I just knew the of God. I didn't know nothing about all the other stuff now that I know now. But God told me something different. And I believed it back then, but I was too dumb not to know it. You know what I mean? And so I kept moving forward. But when I got to California, believe it or not, I had to wear a brace my senior year in high school. I wore a brace on my back. But when I went to California, I never put the brace on again. And for whatever reason, I think the California sun just gave me some something, man. I don't know what it was, but what they say I couldn't do, but they forgot to ask me.
Yes.
Because you control your own destiny. And I'll tell you right now, no one can tell you what you can and you cannot do. And I ask people a question all the time. I said, the people who think you can and people who think you can't, which one of them do you think are right? The one who thinks you can or one who thinks you can't? Which one are right?
The ones that know you can.
I tell you what, they're both right. Because if you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't.
So, yeah.
I believe I can. I know I can. I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
what I can. Yeah, so that's the back thing, man. I know it was like yesterday, man, and I was devastated when they said I couldn't do that no more, because that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I tell you, if it wasn't for football, I don't know where or what I would be, doing right now if I even be here. You know, like I said, I go into prisons right now around the country, and it's a blessing to be able to go in and give somebody a little bit of hope. You know, because those guys people forget about, but I go in to give a little bit of that. That's listen, man. Somebody think about you, man. You ain't getting no visitors, but we come to visit. You know what I mean? And it's a blessing for me. I could be sitting in a chair. You know, much stuff I done and got
Yeah.
away with.
It is. It's kind of like you look back on your life and be like, "Wow, that could have been me." I think that's why I enjoy doing the community service I do,
Yeah. It's a
because
blessing. It
it came
truly is.
from
Yeah.
it definitely could have been us.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, being from Newark is not hard because Newark is a great place to be from. Hear what I said? It's a great
Yes.
place to be from. I ain't saying it's a great place to go to, but if you come out of Newark, you can go anywhere and do anything. I
Mhm.
truly believe that. Okay. Because it's not for the faint of heart. I ain't saying that Newark is all that bad, but it ain't all that good. It ain't all that good. So and I'm not knocking Newark because I am so grateful that Newark even existed. Because if it wasn't for Newark, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You know, it taught me how to be the man that I am, even with my downfalls and my short sides. You know, it taught me some lessons. You
Yeah.
know, yeah.
I watched one of your interviews, and one of your interviews they asked you why you left football,
Hmm.
and you said that it wasn't fun anymore. So can you kind of elaborate on that?
Well, you know, when you're out there playing, see, people think you go out there and put on the uniform, go make $1 million, and it's all fun and games. Man, please, it's business. And when you don't comply to what they say, and when you don't do what they want you to do, and if you get out of line, they're always watching you. The camera is always on you. As a professional ball player, the camera is always watching you. That's why you can't see. Listen, for me, I'm just gonna be honest. A black man can't go out there and do some things a white guy can do and get away with it. We have to walk on that line. You can't cross it. You got to walk on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need to stay a little bit away from it, but don't get. But I'm gonna tell you, I I don't miss anything about football. Um, I miss the camaraderie and the competitiveness, but the actual getting beat up every day, my
Yeah.
body hurts. You hear me? When I tell you that I go to the gym every day, now I'm going to the gym twice a day. I go in the morning and I go back in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And on 2 days a week, Tuesday and Thursday, I go see a trainer. I pay somebody to whip my ass. And I'm saying, I'm like, Lord, please, why do I do this? You know, but I tell you, if I didn't do the things that I do for my body, I couldn't make it. Because when
Yeah.
I say I hurt, if I didn't work out the body, I'd hurt worse.
Oh
My
wow.
shoulders hurt. I had both my knees operated on. Both of them been replaced. This shoulder been 3 surgeries. This shoulder had one. Bad back. You know what else I got? I mean, the only thing I never hurt was my ankles. I never heard those. Okay, but at the same time, I truly hurt. I moan and groan walking up the stairs. But like I said, if I didn't go to the gym and do the things that I do, I couldn't survive. I couldn't even make it. Matter of fact, I deal with post concussion syndrome. And there's a big lawsuit going on right now, big old settlement going on, $100 million sitting out there for former players. But I'm gonna tell you this: I'm a part of that lawsuit because some of the things don't work like they used to. And somebody said, "Well, they got to do football." Oh, yeah, it does. It quite always does. I wake up in the middle of the night. Matter of fact, this is a couple of weeks ago. I woke up in the middle of the night. I was dreaming. Scared my wife half to death. I'm laughing now because it's funny to me, but it wasn't funny to me because I saw it and I couldn't do nothing about it because I was in the dream and this spider was coming down on the web, right? He was just coming, big old spider, right? And I'm like trying to get it. I'm popping at it, right? I'm asleep. And I hit at the spider, hit the bed. Boom. She was like, "What you doing?" And I'm like, and that's part of that NFL thing that got going on.
The
So,
concussion.
yeah, man, because, I woke up and I told my trainer, not the trainer. I had to go to a neurologist, and he gave me some things for that because I was really in a bad space, man. And he gave me something to sleep better. When I go to sleep. Okay, and I'm dealing with that right now as we speak because it's not something that I take lightly. And football is not something I play with. I enjoy the game, but I'm dumbfounded by some of the things that go on right now with football. And they let you know that you still black man. The thing that went on with Shadua Sanders recently, that I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. That's collusion. That's collusion, man. You can't do that because he's Deion's son and he's proud and positive. Man, please. I'm to a point now where I don't even want to. I'm just kind of baffled by why people do the things they do, man.
Yeah.
People just mean, man.
Yeah.
People are mean. You know, and that's the part about football. See, when the fun left, I didn't want to do it anymore. Because I really love football. I enjoyed it. When I was running the ball, I'm laughing. I'm having a good time, right? But when the fun left, my desire to do it wasn't there anymore. And that was 1987. And that told me that there were other things that I needed to do in my life and I wanted to do. And I was going to pursue those dreams. And, and when I found out that when I started speaking, I found a passion that I just like, man, I'm like Michael Jackson on stage. Man, you give me I ain't never met a mic I ain't like. You hear me? I love to get up in front of people to chat, to tell stories. I'm a storyteller. I got some stories that people don't think they don't think I've been through some of the things I've been through. Lace, when it comes to the drug part, listen, when I say I did enough drugs to kill everybody to come on this show, I was there, man. I was, and my wife right now, she said, no, you ain't never did that. Girl, please. Hey, okay?
That's
I was a fiend.
Like what you've been through.
Yeah, man. Listen, I sit and talk about it, but when I see people go through those things right now, I said, man, the thought never leaves. You hear me? The thought, listen, I don't miss getting high. But I'm going to tell you this. If it wasn't for the consequences, I would still be using. I'm going to be honest with you. I enjoyed it. It was like a passion. Oh, it's just the joy of going to do it and going to it and just the rigors of getting to it and then getting it. But when it's gone and all the consequences, like, damn, what did I do? I done messed up. How much? Good gracious. How long I've been gone? My Lord. But you know what? It's all a part of learning, man. And, we have to learn through trial and error,
Yeah.
And that was one of those things that when I see people going through, listen, they say experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
That's not always true. You can listen to somebody else's experience and learn a more valuable lesson. Don't waste your time, energy, or money. But you got to listen. You got to be attentive because when someone is telling you this, you ain't got, I was talking to someone recently and they said, man, but you don't know me, man. That ain't going to be me. I said that too. Because my dad was an alcoholic and a drug addict. He worked every day. But when my dad only told me he loved me when he was drunk. I love you, man. Listen, I love my dad was my hero. I don't care what he did. It didn't matter. My dad was my dad. And my dad hit me upside my head one time. I was about 4 years old when we lived down in the country. And he told me, because you had to go outside and pump the pump to get water, right? To get the well, we had to go to the pump.
The well.
He said, go outside and get some water. I just looked at him, I said, you go get it. He grabbed that broomstick and popped me upside my head. I ain't talking back to my dad since. I wish I would. Nope. Even when he was going through his things, man, I respected him. I loved him. And he was my dad. That's the kind of respect you had for your dad. You know, and I'm tell you this: the word says, "Children, obey your parents, for this is right, and your life belong on this earth." Listen,
Mhm.
that's a real talk. Okay, that's real talk. And I find some people talking about I hate their mom and I can't stand my dad and woo woo man. Listen, y'all, you three, you and your sisters, your
Mhm.
mom was on y'all like white on rice. Okay, like black on black eyed peas. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you this: that woman gave everything she had for y'all,
She did. She
and
did.
never once have I heard one of y'all say, "I don't like that lady. She get on my nerve." Listen, some people appreciate the stuff that you got to deal with and got to go through. Some people don't. But you know, they told me that a hard head make a soft ass.
Oh yes.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, I had a hard head, but but I had some brothers that were younger than me. But whenever they did something wrong, my mother whipped my ass.
Mhm.
They whipped me because you the leader. You showed them how to do it. Man, please. But you know what? I took that now. I take that in stride. I'm like, okay. I try to share with my brothers and me. I got two of them that's going through it right now, and one is in the program and one in and out of the hospital. I'm like, I don't know what you need me to do, man, but I done told you it all. I mean, I done got high with you. You know, my life is different than your life right now. Not
Yeah.
because I play football, because I made some different choices. But you know, you can make that same choice. It don't have to be
Yes.
the same choice, but you can make the choice not to use today. You keep telling me, I need a job, I need a job. No, you don't need a job. You need a program. The job you've been getting money and wasn't even working, but you get money. But as soon as you get it, you give it away.
Yeah.
I bought more houses and more cars than anybody ever I knew. And I didn't drive them. Didn't live them. Didn't live in them, didn't drive it because I bought them.
Hmm.
Ooh, you know what I mean? I mean, Drug Man had it, you know. But I tell you, I am grateful that I had opportunity to live the life that I've lived. And one of the joys that I really have had was teaching.
Yes. I was finished. That was where I was going because I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the Mr. Brown. Like y'all, Reggie the
Listen.
Trucks and then Mr. Brown. I
Mhm.
know, and then the
Mm.
author and the motivational speaker.
Yes.
I want to talk about the Mr. Brown. I know.
Amen. Amen. I'm gonna tell you something. When I first, matter of fact, the best part about the whole thing with teaching, my in 1987 is when I really started. But I'm gonna tell you, I was playing in Philadelphia. I was playing with the Eagles in 1987, but I was teaching at the same time. But I lived in Philly,
Hmm.
but I also lived in Jersey. Okay, because see, Monday and Tuesday I was in Jersey teaching. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was in Philly playing. And I'd be in the classroom Monday and Tuesday teaching, and all of a sudden on Sunday you see me on TV like, "Hey, Mr. Brown." But I'm telling you, that was a joy, man. And because when you see the students coming like, "Hey, Mr. Brown, I saw you yesterday," you know, that was a joy. But then it became more personal
Yeah.
because I had a joy for intertwining with the students, man, because I enjoyed that. I had
Hmm.
people that I truly cared about. Again, you know that because I'm still talking to you, man, and that's just because, hey, listen was one of my girls. All the three of y'all, those are my girls, And there's some people I keep in touch with over the years, and it's just something that I enjoy doing, and I'll always be an educator. I'll always
Yes.
be an educator, man, because every day I'm listen. I found out one thing. We was at a service one day, and we had a men's function, and the pastor said, "Tell me, I need y'all to explain to me one thing about um, the character of Jesus." I'm just going to use this for a minute. He said, "Give me a characteristic of Jesus," and the one word he was looking for was kind. I don't care what else you could have said, but the word kind. I don't care where I went. I treated everybody like I want to be treated. Whether it was a
Yes.
student, an adult, or a janitor, is all the same to me. It's a person. I want to be treated just like I'm gonna treat you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want something, listen. If you do the right thing, I got your back. If you need to get over one day and something happened, I got you. Listen, that was the thing. I had a rapport with students that it just because I was a student. I was I was a big old kid. I was the biggest kid you ever want to meet. So everything y'all went through, I forgot half of it. When by the time I got to y'all, I forgot half the stuff I done learned. You know, but I'm learning how to be a better person. You know, that's what the students gave me. And someone said, "Well, Reg, now you motivate people." I said, "No, I don't motivate people. I don't motivate people. People motivate me. I inspire. I do the best I can. Because if you motivate today, you got to motivate tomorrow. I don't want to motivate. I just want to inspire.
Yeah,
There's a big difference, you know. But I'm gonna tell you this: of all the things I've done in my life, being in the building with a bunch of kids was one of the best things I've ever done. Okay, because I had a passion for that. I mean, when I tell you that, listen, Mr. Brown, listen, Mrs. Brown got so many people out of trouble. I'm gonna tell you. But every once in a while, you get somebody to just jack you up. Because I remember this one young lady. She was walking down the hallway, and she said, "I do, Mr. Brown." I ain't gonna mention no names. She said, "I do, Mr. Brown." I said, "What'd you say?" She said, "I do, Mr. Brown. I do you." So for a couple of days, I thought about that thing. But I'm gonna tell you, I really did. Listen, this girl had a Coca-Cola bottle shape, 16 years old, beautiful. I looked at her. She said, "I do you." I'm like, so listen, I thought about that for a couple of days. But then I went to Miss Belly. I said, "Miss Belly, I have a problem." I went to her and I told her, I said, "Miss Belly, I got a problem." I said, so other people heard it. So before I let it even get anywhere else, I went to Miss Belly. I'm like, you know what? Let me nip this in the bud. We called her parents in. When her mom came in, I said, "Oh my God." I know what that daughter looked like. I know what that daughter looked like that now. Are you kidding me? So they transfer her out. They sent her to Shabazz. And that's when I was at Weekwood. They sent her to Shabazz. And one day I saw her. She said, "Hey, Mr. Brown." Hey, I kept on going. But I'm gonna tell you, I was real, man. I'm somebody you can put your hand on and say, "Look, Mr. Brown got me. I know he got me." If I told you I had you, I had you. And if you needed something, if I had it, you got it. Okay. And believe me, people needed stuff all day, every day, whether it be a pass, a lie. Listen, I'm not gonna lie too much for you, but I'm gonna help you get your butt out of trouble. Okay.
You definitely got us out of trouble.
Oh my God.
Every time. Me and my sister Brenda. Oh my God.
Come to the back door. Come to the back door. I'll be there.
Always plays.
Oh my God. And then they got me running down the hallway chasing people, and I'm like, I enjoyed that part because they thought they could get away from me. Listen, man, listen. I was a running back. I run right up on your back. That's what I tell them all the time. You can't catch me, man. Yeah, okay.
Between class. That's when I met you.
Amen.
I was in Miss King's class.
Yep. You know, that's my listen. Miss King was my ace, man. Okay? Miss King was my ace, man. Y'all have no idea. Miss King was my ace. Miss King could have got it. Okay? Could have got it. Okay. I'm gonna sit there and tell you, Miss King could have got whatever she wanted. Okay. And not because she did anything. It's just that Miss King was real, man. You know what I mean? She was real, and
I think that's why a lot of the kids liked her.
Yeah.
Because she was definitely.
And she's that big. Okay.
And
she's that big. And powerful. Powerful though. Powerful.
She did.
And she had your back, man. If King had you, you was in good shape.
Yeah.
Okay? And you know, and we had cahoots together, and you know, a lot of times I said, "Listen, if Miss King, both of us know y'all, I got you. Go see Miss King. She take care of you. I let her know ahead of time." Okay.
He used to put Brenda out the class all the time.
I know.
Brenda out of that.
Brenda was the one. Brenda was the one that needed more work than a little bit. Okay?
Yes.
And listen, even after we left school, when she used to live up on 19th Street, I
With
should
my
ride by there and see her, man. Just see how she doing. And Brenda, come on, girl. You can do a lot better. But she hung out there for a while, you know. But I'm grateful that she got herself together and she's doing good things today.
that's
And,
because was behind us. Like you had both. That
amen.
was why I graduated. Cool.
You know,
But my mama, you and you, I was like, oh my God.
amen. Amen.
Brenda
Your
got
mom was a good lady, man. Your mom was a good lady. She was always there. Always there. Okay.
Mhm.
You had a good mom, man. I'm telling you. Everybody didn't have that. Okay. And everybody couldn't appreciate what
Mhm.
y'all had because they didn't have it. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't have it. But I'm truly grateful that things turned out the way they did. And I'm glad I had a hand in something that's
Yeah.
positive. Yeah.
You
And
had a lot because there's a lot of us that still call you to this day.
yes, yes. You know, every once in a while, matter of fact, remember I had the bowling team, and what's the girl name that I had one female on the team. Um, she lived right off of Bergen Street, light skin. What's her name? She lives down here in Atlanta, and she lives in Florida. But every year she comes to this whiteout party here, and I was there last year, and she was there. It's so many people you'd be surprised I see here in Atlanta every so often. Okay, but whenever I come back there, I run into so many people. I
Yeah.
mean, hey, Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown.
Mhm.
Listen, so much love, man. I'm like, how can you not fall in love with this? You know what I mean? So I'm truly grateful I had an opportunity to do the things I've done. It's been a blessing. And like I said, people on Facebook now, Mr. Brown, hey, Mr. Brown, hey, Mr. Brown. Yeah, all kind of stuff. Yeah. Y'all had a good class, though. I had a lot of great students, man, that I'm appreciative. I'm grateful that they're out there doing good things. And I'm glad I had a chance to be a part of that. You know, special
You
place.
were a wonderful role model to a lot of us.
Amen.
Newark, New Jersey, and the school system we was in, I
Yeah.
guarantee I probably wasn't the only one that can say you pushed me through. You
Amen.
through you got Brenda to get her diploma,
Yes.
and
I
yeah,
stayed on that girl, man. God.
so Brenda
Oh,
was for the books, but
yeah.
it was a lot of us that you got us through school. You got
Amen.
yep, because you it's rare you meet good teachers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tours, administrators is rare. We had
Yeah.
a few of them in Weekway, and you was definitely one of them. You and
Amen.
me.
Yeah. I every once in a while I think about calling her. Was it 973-667-6756, something like that? I remember that number. I ain't called it in a while though. And Miss King. Yeah.
Still at Weekway?
No, she retired. She done. Miss King had money. Miss King was a king. Okay? Her dad left her money, and she had been teaching for forever. She had a Corvette Stingray in the garage. She never drove it. Man, girl had money. I mean, she drove a little Neo, whatever it was, but she had everything she ever could want. She had everything.
I would love to see her again.
Man, I'm gonna find that number. Find that number. Okay. I
Okay,
know I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna find that number just for you. Okay.
you gonna have to let me know too.
Oh, trust me.
Okay. Now we're gonna talk about the Reggie V. Brown,
Amen.
national speaker, the prepaid legal service agent, the CEO
Amen.
of
Amen.
Radio Live,
Listen,
and the author. Author. I say author. It's author. Yes.
what happened to the playbook? And I'm gonna tell you, people, it's on Amazon, and but if you order it at Amazon, I ain't signing it because they ain't gonna come back to me. I tell people all the time, call me 973-703 7860. Cash out me $25, and I'll send them the book signed, sealed, delivered. And I say $25 because the book is $20. But I do that because it pays for the $5 of shipping and handling.
Yeah.
And it's autographed. And I've done that plenty of times, but I tell people all the time, you go to Amazon if you want to, but and Amazon gonna get their cut. I ain't gotta go. Listen, I'm like Shadul Sanders. I want you to call me, order for me. Okay. And I need to put it on the board like that on Facebook and let people know that. I need to do that. Yeah. But the speaker part, that's something when I tell you I enjoy that, that's my passion right now. I get to more people, and and I got a message for them, man. I done been through some things in life that people talk about, but they don't understand it. You can come back from certain things. But I'm not afraid to tell people where I've been. I'm grateful that I've been through it, and I learned some lessons, some teachable lessons, and what I've learned, I want to give it away. Because you can't keep something that is not meant for you to keep. And the reason why I went through what I went through, so I can give it away.
Yeah, so you could tell.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the speaker part. That guy, like I said, I ain't never met a mic I ain't like. He give me a mic, I'm like Michael Jackson. Man, please. I talk all day long, okay? But I gotta wherever I go, I find out what the need is before I go. And I find out what that need is, and that's the need to that, and that's what I address. And wherever school I go to, when I go to prisons, I got a message. Matter of fact, when I go to prisons, I got 4 quarters I talk about. First quarter of life, second quarter of life, third quarter of life. I'm in my 4th quarter right now. Somebody's 4th quarter is going to be in prison. And you know what? But it's not everybody's 4th quarter. I always just ask them before I leave, what quarter are you in your life? What are you going to do with the last quarter of yours? Because we made some bad choices. We all have. But, there's the first half and the second half. But there's 4 quarters. That's what I talk about. But there's the first half and the second half. The first half, it got you in there. The second half, it can get you out. You might have an opportunity to get out. But not everybody does.
Yeah.
But if you're fortunate enough to get an opportunity to get out, don't make the same mistake, get you back in there again. And so many people have repeat because they haven't learned anything. Okay? Somebody told me, learn how to listen and then listen to learn.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I heard that. Okay? Listen, I'm going to share something with you, right? I want you to do me a favor. Because you're going to do the same thing everybody else do. Okay? Take your hand like this. Take your hand like this. See me? Put your finger on your chin. Thank you. Thank you. Most people do what I do because that's what they see, but they don't listen. I said your chin, not your
cheek.
Well, why you do it then? I know what my chin is, but I just want to find out if you knew what yours was. Okay? Because you know what? People are so busy watching everybody else do things. That's why they got in jail in the first place. You was watching, you wasn't listening. So it doesn't mean anybody any smarter any lesser. It means that you're a watcher or you're a listener. That's all it means. Watchers do this, listeners do this. Audio, visual, audio.
Hey, that's the do as I say, not as I do thing too.
My mother told me that lesson growing up. Do as I say, not as I do. When you get your butt whipped, I didn't get mine whipped because I'm your mama. You can't do what I do. But that part, I'm grateful. I've had an opportunity to do a lot of things and impact some lives. And the writer part, it took me several years to write the book, because over a course of years, I took a lot of notes to write that book. Someone, I talked to it, I talked to the person. She wrote it and put it on tape, and she described it from the notes that I gave her, and she wrote the book. And one day she said, "Well, I'm gonna surprise you. I'm gonna send you something." And I thought she sent me a paperback, whatever thing, right? But she sent me the book, copied and sealed and everything.
Wow.
Well, you gotta be kidding me. So now I'm working on the second one now, okay? Because I have another story, but this one is gonna be called. That's the football thing, okay? Suited, SUITED. So I'm suited for everything that I've done in my life. I've been through something to
Yeah.
help in that situation. I was not a great student. I became a great teacher.
Yeah.
I was a truck driver because I wanted to find out where I was going. I played football because I wanted to endure. Okay. And I became a better person because I went through all those things.
Yeah.
So everything that I've done, I've had some help along the way. So I was suited for everything that I went through.
Kind of like right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm grateful. And the mental capacity of the stuff inside of his brain, I don't know how it stays in there sometimes because I'm rattled. But I write a lot of stuff down. Um, I thank God for the wife I have because she reminds me sometimes, and I need her to remind me because sometimes I just forget.
Yeah.
I had a meeting yesterday with my pastor and another gentleman from a prison ministry, and I made the appointment. They gave me Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Tuesday at 11 o'clock, I was nowhere to be found. I got a phone call later on about 3 o'clock saying, Mr. Reggie, we need to reschedule. The meeting was today. I thought it was tomorrow. And remember, I was sick as a dog. I mean, I a lot of stuff I just forgot. I couldn't even remember anything. I couldn't remember anything. But I called her and I talked to her. I said, listen, I greatly appreciate it if you can reschedule that meeting for me. Whenever you say, just let me know. I'll be there. I'll make sure he's there as well. So she said, I'll call you back later. She called back last night about 9 o'clock. I thought she was already done for the day. Come back at 9 o'clock, says, Mr. Reggie, tomorrow, 11 o'clock. I called the gentleman at 9 o'clock at night. I said, look, man, we got a meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock. 11 o'clock. He said, I'm there. I got there this morning at 10:30. Okay. He got there about 5 minutes till and had such an awesome meeting with the pastor. And all I could do was sit there and cry. I cried. Half the meeting I cried because the stuff that was being said in this meeting about something that my pastor wants me to do and this gentleman is doing. And it's a partnership.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing to do with it. All I was the compressor to bring things together. But God, in his ultimate wisdom, knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, when I say I sat there and I cried most of the meeting because the things that were being said and the things that happened in that meeting. Not because of anything I did, because all I do was set up a meeting. But I listened. And I know Pastor said something to me a while ago about me working with the men's ministry as well as the prison ministry. Okay, whatever. I do whatever you say, Pastor. I'm here, okay? But I'm gonna tell you, this is what I say to people all the time. You can't use me. You cannot use me. No one can use me. Only God can use me. You can utilize me. That's my new word, utilization. Utilize me all day long, but you can't use me. I'm done being used, okay? And I make that a point to make sure people understand you're not using me. You can utilize me, but use me, no, that's over. God gonna do that, okay? But I'm
So
gonna
have
tell you,
schools?
Huh?
Have you spoken to any of the schools?
I was in Boston a couple months ago. Um, Something's coming up. Matter of fact, I'm working on a contract with this program out of Detroit, and one of the guys that play with the Giants to do some speaking engagements around the country. And it's pretty lucrative. Um, I'm waiting to see right now what God opens for me to do that. Um, I don't want to be tied to anything that I got to do this time and that time. I like
Yeah.
the freedom, but I need some stability in what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I got peace of mind. You know what I mean? Legal Shield. I've been doing Legal Shield for 20 plus years. I
Yes.
ain't gonna never stop doing Legal Shield.
The conferences and stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And matter of fact, they just had some changes in the company, and they got a new CEO, a new COO, and some changes came up, and someone called me like, "Reg, man, you got to get some people back in, man." I'm like, "Yeah, I know," and but I got so much going on. I don't want to tie myself into anything, and the one thing I don't want to do is manage people. It's like managing people is like herding cats.
Oh Jesus.
You cannot herd cats; they don't listen. They're not like a dog. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Man, cat gonna come when he want to come. Dog, you think you got something for him. Cat, man, I ain't got time for you. But that's like doing Legal Shield when you have to recruit people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to recruit people to go cash their check. You got to recruit people to go do something. You got to call them and say, "Did you do this?" I ain't got time for that. I ain't. No. I ain't got time for that. My mental part. Well, I don't know if I can do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can deal with several people, but I don't want to manage a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I do some groups, but I don't want to manage people like I've got 5 over here and 6 over there. No, I ain't that kind of. I don't do that. I'm
You're
still
right.
getting paid for stuff I did 20 years ago. But that's what I did, not what someone else did. But now it's different, man. People different. People
Yeah.
different. Um, yeah, he's different. But if you know somebody that think about doing it, let me know.
What else you got coming up?
I'm going to. Someone just called me today. I know July the 22nd. I'm gonna be in Pennsylvania, in York, Pennsylvania. On the 22nd, I got an autograph and a book signing in York, Pennsylvania. And matter of fact, I'm doing something the next couple of weeks out of North Carolina. I'm not coming to North Carolina, but uh, I know there's guys in North Carolina, and he wants an NFL player to come and do something. And he called me up, man, and I know it's coming up. I know it's coming up because I know it's not long after yours. But I got some prison dates coming up in next couple of months.
Okay.
Um, it's always something, and again, every day, man, is a new chapter, a new story, and I got to get back. I just told my wife today I got to get me another notebook so I can start taking notes and put stuff in. Because it's time for me to put the other book together. You know, it's that time. So I got to make my notes, and I got a book with some notes in it, but I need to add some more to it. But don't forget to do one thing for me.
Send me
Text
your
me.
address. Uh-huh.
I send it
Hmm.
to you tomorrow.
Okay. And I want you to let everybody know where they can get your book from.
Okay.
And where they can get in touch with you if they wanna, they want to speak to you about anything or, have you come speak for them.
Okay. Well, here we go. Reggie Brown. I'm gonna give you a phone number first, because I'm gonna tell you I answer my phone. 973-703-7860. 973-703-7860. That's my phone number, personal. Reggie Brown. Now, it's all one word, Reggie Brown. Not Reggie Brown, Reggie Brown. So I have a website. The website is I'm sorry, that's the book. The website is greatdaytobealive.net. Greatdaytobealive.net. All together. No spaces in between. Greatdaytobealive.net. That's my name, Great Day to Be Alive. Okay? GDTBA. GDTBA. Hey, yeah. So listen, the website, greatdaytobealive.net. Greatdaytobealive.net. So if you would like to order a book and have me sign it and send it to you, send me your information and you can cash at me that way. And you can use my name, Reggie Brown. Oh, you can use the phone number, 973-703-7860. I gave you that 3 times. So use the phone number, cash app $25, and I'll send you a signed copy of What Happened to the Playbook. And let me just tell you what this is about. So from the news streets to the NFL and the long road back, I'm telling you, I left 1978 with $50 a suitcase and a one-way ticket on the way to California. And I said, I'm not coming back till I make something of myself, do something in my life, or become somebody. I've been back for a minute. Let me tell you something. I smile a lot, right? And the reason why I smile, I paid for him, like $30,000. He got to start out there long. Listen, I smile. I told my wife, when I expire, don't put me in no casket with a smile on my face. I paid for smile. Let me do it when I'm gone. Reg was a smiley guy. All he ever said was, great day to be alive. Great day to be alive. So listen, right. Amen. I have an email if you need, ReggieTruckBrown1@gmail. ReggieTruckBrown1@gmail. The number 1. Okay? So I gave you the phone number, 973-703-7860. ReggieTruckBrown1@gmail. GreatDayToBeAlive.net.
And you're also on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook. It's under Reggie V. Brown. V for victory. It stands for Van. It stands for Van. Let me tell you how that works. See, my middle name is Van, V-A-N. And I'm going to tell you how that changed. When I was little, they called me Van. When I got bigger, they called me Truck. That's a real story for me. Okay.
Terrible.
Yes. And listen, it's always a pleasure to speak with you. I hope we hit some things tonight. Hope I did what you needed.
You did. I do. I really coming off for me.
So when you air your show,
it's live.
It's live. So do you air it again?
On the Connected Radio on Facebook.
Really? Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I sent you the link.
Actually, I put it on the page. Matter of fact, I put it on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it or not. That it was gonna be aired tonight. I put it on the page. I put it on Facebook. Yep.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at it.
Yep, I sure did. Listen, I'm a promoter as well. I'm gonna tell people what's out there. Okay. Especially if I'm involved with it, I'm gonna tell somebody, hey man, guess what? Listen, Lazy hooked me up, boy. I'm trying to tell you. Got a show going on, man. Gave me a chance to just run amok, just talk about it and be about it and let it happen. So keep doing what you're doing, Lace.
Thank you so much.
Bella Lace.
You know I'm gonna keep in touch.
If you don't, okay. No, do me a favor. I talk to Brian every so often. Tell me, what's your other sister, Trish? I haven't talked to her in a minute. How's she doing?
She's doing good. She probably watching the show. She gonna hit you up.
You know what? I meant to reach out to her because, like I said, I talk to Brenda every so often, man. I'm on the phone. I was up there in Pennsylvania for a birthday, but I didn't see her. And she said, "You didn't call me." I did call you. You didn't answer. You was probably drunk. Okay. She probably got toasted. I know she did. Okay? Yes, she was. So, But nevertheless, I didn't get a chance to catch up with her. But you tell Trish I say hello. Hey, Trish, if you're listening, hey! And all you other Indians and Bulldogs and everybody else out there. Thanks for having me tonight. I appreciate you. Love you much. And if anybody told you today they love you, I love it and nothing you can do about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. As always, thank you for listening tonight and stay connected.
Stand there.
The Connected Radio plays the hottest hits from indie or mainstream artists. Artists, do you need radio play and promotions? Call us at 1-855-566-6328. The Connected Radio is the real station for the people.